you guys can see we're driving through the main capital, downtown Oranienstad. Here you guys can see the famous I Love Aruba logo coming up to the right. Also you have the souvenir shops and the flea market to the left. Is this everybody's first time to the island? Yes and no? Alright. Yes. So welcome to the first timers and welcome back home to everybody that already came to the island of Aruba. It's guaranteed that I'm gonna see everybody back again in December, right? Now next year I'm gonna see everybody back here on the island. Main reason why the temperature is always in the 80s. So when it's snowing for you guys, it's always summertime here on the island. Temperature is always between 80-85 degrees Fahrenheit year round. In the month of September that passed of this year, for the first time ever in Aruba's history, the temperature rose to a record of 110 degrees Fahrenheit here on the island. That was the hottest it ever get here on the island of Aruba. And also on that day, the local electricity company could not keep up with the demand, so we get an island-wide blackout. We overloaded the entire grid here on the island. But in 2 hours, they managed to stabilize and get the electricity back on the island. So right now we're driving through the main capital here on the island of Aruba, downtown Oranienstad. So you guys can see all the shops and restaurants here on the island. There you guys can see a seafood restaurant called the Old Fisherman's. You can get fresh coconut. You have a liquor shop. You get fresh coffee brewed and locally grown here on the island. So the coffee beans are locally brewed and grown here on the island of Aruba. Diamonds International. Here you guys can see the local trolley coming up.
Yeah, I might tell you, we started earlier. Oh. You guys can see some more shopping areas coming up to the left and to the right.
I didn't know they had a trolley.
To the left you guys have Iguana Joe's for some Caribbean barbecue. You have some more little souvenir shops coming up to the right. Restaurant. Alright ladies, I'm gonna need for every lady to look to the right. Ignore the left hand side of the vehicle, alright? Ignore the left ladies, just keep looking towards the right. Guys, you're allowed to see to the left. Only the guys are allowed to see to the left. Ladies, look to the right, alright? Ignore the expensive side of the bus. Here you guys have Lucy's, which is a seafood restaurant. You have one hotel located in the capital. You can see it right now coming up. This is a Renaissance hotel. So this big building here, this is adults only, 18 years and older, no kids. They have their own private island. You guys see the entrance? So the bridge, we're driving over the entrance for the boat. So the boat is gonna go inside into the hotel, pick up its passengers and head towards the private island. There's a small boat to the far right. Oh, there you can see one leaving right now where you see the brown tiki huts. That's the private island's boat. So that's gonna go to the island right now. Then to the left hand side coming up this big building here, this is the main parliament building here on the island. So over here you have the prime minister, the ministers and the governors here on the island. Some of the locals call this the local donkey sanctuary because you have all the politicians walking inside. Then you have a nice little marketplace coming up to the right called the Renaissance Marketplace. You have a nice bar in the middle called 5 o'clock somewhere. It's always 5 o'clock somewhere to grab a cold one. So if you have kids or grandkids, then you're going to go to the next resort from the Renaissance. You can see it coming up behind the big orange roof building. That's the family section. So where you go if you have kids or grandkids. It's also an all-inclusive resort. This is a statue of the king's grandmother, so the Princess Wilhelmina Park, so the ex-queen of the Netherlands. So that's Princess Wilhelmina Park, the king's grandmother. Then to the left, the blue home coming up, this is the governor of Aruba's residency. So this is his home here on the island. So this big blue building is the governor's home. Then coming up, you can see a mango tree right now full of mangoes. Coming up, you guys are gonna see a very interesting statue, a baby with a big head. If you kind of use your imagination, it resembles an ex-president from the USA. We're gonna keep it friendly. We're gonna keep it friendly in the bus. We're not gonna start a war, all right? So right now we're gonna be heading for the natural bridge. Very shortly coming up, you're gonna be seeing the official Aruba logo. So this is the logo and sign that all over the world that promotes Aruba as a destination. This is the official sign they have to use to sell the island and to promote the island. So you can see the official Aruba sign coming up to the right where the gentlemen them are standing. So this is the official Aruba logo. Then you guys are going to be seeing a building to the left called the John F. Kennedy Education Center. This is where the local kids go to get the student visa to go away to study to the United States. So at the John F. Kennedy is where we get the student visa for the USA. Then coming up, this big brown building to the left, this is the most hated building on the entire island. And people wants to burn it down. It's even worse than the local prison. It's the tax office, that's why. That's why nobody likes that building. Then to the right hand side, this is the main airport for the island. So this is Princess Beatrix International Airport here on the island of Aruba. Once you translate it from Dutch into English, it basically means the haystack hill. That big hill that you're seeing to the left is 170. The north side of the island. Picture the landscape of Arizona or Tucson, but just surrounded by water. They have Aruba's landscape, which is a desert. Something similar currently. It's very hot and very humid. No commercial, no residential, no nothing in that location because it's protected by the government of Aruba. We do get once in a while here on the island, but never the full force of the hurricane here on the island of Aruba. Once in a while, some hurricanes do come for the island. For instance, in 2004 and 2005, 2004 we had Hurricane Ivan, and 2005 we had Katrina. Those two hurricanes that came very close to the island of Aruba. Even though they say that Aruba never gets rain, they do get the rain when it's the hurricane season here on the island of Aruba. No, here on the island, in our sister islands, Curacao and Bonaire, they will utilize the cactus. In Curacao, you could eat the cactus, and in Bonaire, they have a distillery that will turn it into alcohol. So a cactus liquor in Bonaire.
Scenery.
At the natural bridge also, you're gonna find a restroom area, so if you guys need to use the restroom at that location, they will charge you $1 to utilize the restroom, because that stop is the only location on the entire island of Aruba that doesn't have running water, because it's located in the national park, so that's why it doesn't have running water here on the island of Aruba. Basically, all of the homes, restaurants, businesses, hotels, shops, cruise terminal, and airport, everything has running water thanks to the desalination plant here on the island of Aruba. For the last 90 years straight, Aruba recently celebrated 90 years in June of this year of desalinating the drinking water here on the island of Aruba. We were the very first Caribbean island to introduce that desalination plant 90 years ago. The same desalination plant that produces the drinking water for the island produces the electricity for the island also. So except for the natural bridge, there's no running water and there's also no electricity, but they have generators. It's because it's located in the national park of the island, so it's a protected area. So that's why you're not gonna find no pipes, no cables, no nothing running in the national park towards the natural bridge of the island. So if you need to use the restroom, once you get to that stop, they will charge you $1 to use the restroom. So this is the last home to the right. After this is only the national park. You're gonna be seeing the ostrich farm of Aruba coming up to the left. So this is the ostrich farm of Aruba to the left. Then you're gonna find the horseback riding range coming up to the left. And this is what we call the desert side here on the island. The landscape is similar to Arizona, but just surrounded by water. And it's green right now because of the hurricane season and the rain that we're getting here on the island of Aruba. So this is the farthest point north here on the island of Aruba. So just in case anybody is lost with the direction of the compass right now, this is the north side of the island. Once you continue driving, go up, that's the east side of the island. Behind us, go back down, that's the west side of the island. And towards the right of us, go down, that's the south side of the island of Aruba. So North America, towards the left, Europe in front of us, South America to the right, and Central America behind us, go back down. Here you guys can see an opening here on the island. In Papiamento, we call it a boca. A boca basically means a mouth here on the island. So a boca means a mouth. Now you're not allowed to get so close to the waters because the waves is very high here on the island of Aruba. So you can see some people breaking the rules right now. If you fall into that water, you're not guaranteed to come back out alive, because the currents are very strong at this side of the island of Aruba. So whenever you guys come back to the island, you could never swim at this side, neither do no windsurfing, kite surfing, scuba diving, snorkeling, none of that, because the currents is very strong at this side of the island of Aruba. You have two options on this side of the island. Number one, you're either gonna survive, or number two, you're gonna die. Most likely it's gonna be number two, because the waters on this side is very rough and very dangerous. Very shortly, you guys will be seeing a small little opening here on the island. So another boca here on the island of Aruba, and it's gonna have a big rock right in the middle of the water that kind of resembles the iguana coming out of the water. So where you guys are seeing all of the UTVs park, you're gonna see a small little opening coming up that's called a boca here on the island, and it has a big rock that resembles the iguana here on the island of Aruba. You guys can see the opening coming up with a big rock in the middle of the water that kind of resembles the iguana, where you see people doing swimming, which is not allowed. So you can see people breaking the rules right now. By the looks of it, they're having fun. Those are rental cars that you're seeing right now. You can tell by the license plates. Also to the right of us, you guys will notice some volcanic stones here on the island of Aruba. So you can notice a mix of fossilized coral stones to the left. So the floor that we're seeing right now is fossilized coral, and to the right is volcanic stones here on the island of Aruba. So here you guys can see some more volcanic stones to the left. So roughly 95 million years ago, Aruba was part of the Galapagos Islands. So originally, Aruba belongs to the Pacific Ocean. Aruba began life roughly 95 million years ago through the eruption of volcanic activity beneath the surface by the Galapagos Islands. Through the movement of the tectonic plates, we slowly drift under the South American continent, and we finally settled 19 miles off of the coast of Venezuela, which is towards the south side of the island of Aruba. So where the cruise ship is located, that's the south side of the island, and that's usually you could see Venezuela from the island of Aruba. About 3 days ago, we could see the entire coastline from Venezuela from the island of Aruba. So for this entire 20-mile long, 6-mile wide island, Aruba is made up out of the volcanic stones that you guys are seeing to the left and to the right of us. On top of the layer of the volcanic stones is going to come a layer of fossilized coral stone. So millions of years ago, all of this used to be below the water, but it slowly rise from beneath the surface here on the island of Aruba. And then you have a mix also of granite stones here on the island of Aruba. So it's a combination of fossilized coral stones, volcanic stones, and granite stones that make up Aruba in general. There you guys could see another opening. Very beautiful but very dangerous at the same time. So that's why at this side looks could be deceiving here on the island. Beauty hides many dangers here on the island of Aruba, especially at the north side of the island. Approaching the natural bridge of Aruba here on the island. Over here we're going to be staying for 20 minutes and then we're going to be heading off, alright? So 20 minutes at the natural bridge. Once you hear this horn, that means it's time to go, alright? So just keep that in mind. Once you hear that means it's time to go. So 20 minutes, this is where we're going to be staying here on the island at the natural bridge. This is also where I'm going to be sharing out the local snack, the pastichi. So welcome to the natural bridge of Aruba. Very shortly. Complete different view of the island that you don't see from the cruise ships, from the hotels here on the island. So just give me one moment, let me park the bus a little bit better. Then I'm going to give you guys the explanation of the bridge. So just give me one moment. one moment. So, welcome to the natural bridge of Aruba. What's left of the natural bridge, because back in 2005, it collapsed because of two hurricanes that had passed close to the island of Aruba. In 2004 and 2005, we had Hurricane Ivan and Hurricane Katrina. Hurricane Katrina was the final nail in the coffin for the natural bridge. On September the 2nd, 2005 at 4 a.m. in the morning, Aruba lost its natural wonder, the natural bridge. We are seeing the gentleman walking right now to the right of us, which is not permitted. That's the original natural bridge of Aruba that collapsed here on the island back in 2005. Where you guys are seeing the warning signs, please do not pass beyond those warning signs, because if you fall into that water, help is not gonna come and help you guys on this side, alright? And I'm just gonna turn the blind eye and drive away. Alright? No, I'm just kidding. So please do not pass beyond those warning signs like that gentleman is doing. Behind the bus, we have a smaller bridge that we call the son of the bridge. Not the bad word, but we have the son of the bridge behind. The mother is the original one that collapsed back in 2005, alright? So I'm gonna be sharing out the pastiche and then we're gonna be coming out, alright? So this is the headquarters of the old gold mine company here on the island of Aruba, called Bushiribana Gold Mine Ruins.
Wow. Oh, they got a little stand.
The little rocks really doesn't have a meaning here on the island of Aruba. It's like a wishing garden. Actually, it's not permitted here on the island to put the rocks up on top of each other because it's destroying the natural habitat of the different small little animals. So this big church over here to the left is called the Saint Philomena Parish. So the big church, that's the Saint Philomena Parish here on the island of Aruba. And this purple pinkish wall that you guys are seeing, this is a local kindergarten and elementary school here on the island. So basically the languages will begin already at home. Once you get into the school, then they will go deeper into the languages. And let's say if you fail English, Dutch, Spanish or Pavimento class, you have to repeat the entire grade all over again because you failed language class here on the island of Aruba. So you're obligated to learn the languages here on the island of Aruba. Wow. If you're trying to skip school because you don't want to learn the languages, good luck, because you're gonna need them day in, day out here on the island of Aruba. Especially in the line of work of the tourism industry, you're gonna speak in those languages daily and fluently behind one another. So one moment you're going to be speaking Dutch, you're going to switch to English, go back to Spanish, vice versa. Depending also on somebody's nationality or background, some people will know up to 6 or 7 different languages, or even up to 10 different languages all at once. Depending where they're migrating from here on the island of Aruba, they will know their own native language back home, and also any languages they learn in school back home, and then over here on the island, they will learn the rest of the languages. So Aruba is basically a melting pot of different cultures, cuisines, ethnic groups, and also languages here on the island of Aruba. One thing also you're going to be noticing right now, you're going to be seeing a lot of different Chinese supermarkets and restaurants. So we have a very big Asian community here on the island of Aruba. The biggest community or the biggest nationality that is living here on the island is the locals.
The locals make up about 66.6% of all of the different nationalities that call home here on the island. The biggest foreign nationality is the Colombians. The Colombians make up about 9.1% of all of the different nationalities that live here on the island of Aruba. So the Colombians are the biggest foreign nationalities to call Aruba home here on the island. So right now everybody's going home from work, so that's why the traffic is a little bit chaotic right now. So everybody's going home from work right now. Being that we know different nationalities, it gives us the option also to go away to study. We could go away to study to the US, we could go away to study to Canada, as also any Central or South American country, and also to Europe, because we know multiple languages here on the island of Aruba. In recent years, the one from Canada that recently came available roughly 6 years ago, because we have one high school that is learning French to the kids here on the island. So that's why we have that option to go away to Canada to study, because we also know some French here on the island of Aruba. So the more languages you know here on the island, the better opportunity you have to further your education, to get a better job, and also get a good bachelor or a master's degree, and depending what you want to study. And we also have different types of schools here on the island of Aruba. For instance, we have one vocational school here on the island. Once you're done with that vocational school, let's say if you finish school at 18 years old, you already have a trade here on the island. In that trade school, you can learn to become a car mechanic, a banker, a nurse, a doctor, a waiter, a pastry chef, or a bakery, you name it. You could open your own business once you have a bachelor. It's like a semi-bachelor's degree already from that vocational school here on the island of Aruba. Yep, at 18. We have some kids that finish school at 18 years old here on the island of Aruba. That's including all of the different languages that you will learn here on the island. So that's why we have a lot of options here on the island to go away to study. Because of the languages, it will open a lot of doors for us here on the island of Aruba. So that's why some of us kids, we don't take school for granted, because we know the more languages you know, the better opportunity you have here on the island of Aruba. So that's why some of us kids, we would take language class very seriously, because you would need to learn those languages no matter where you go. For instance, one way that a lot of us local kids learned the Spanish here on the island was through watching a lot of television. We mostly used to watch a lot of television, Spanish networks from Venezuela, being that we're so close, so we always used to catch a lot of Venezuelan networks here on the island. So that's why a lot of our local kids are so fluently in Spanish, because they used to watch a lot of Venezuelan cartoons here on the island of Aruba. Especially, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with it, El Chaporin Colorado. That was one of our most favorite cartoons here on the island of Aruba. I heard some people laughing, so I think they know about it. So here we're driving through some more commercial and residential areas here on the island of Aruba. In a couple of moments, we're going to be seeing a local cemetery here on the island of Aruba. So we bury our loved ones in something like a mausoleum. could see a local soccer field here on the island. So the major sports here on the island are soccer and baseball. Aruba has produced some really good baseball players so far for the US. For instance, Bogarts. I don't think he's playing no more in the Boston Red Sox, but he's a local from the island of Aruba. So those are the two biggest sports here on the island of Aruba, baseball and soccer. Coming up to the right, this is part of the local orphanage here on the island of Aruba. So this big yellow wall here to the right, all of this go down. This is the local orphanage here on the island. We call it Imeldahof here on the island of Aruba. It's located right next to the St. Anne's Church, which is another Roman Catholic church here on the island. And here you guys can see the local cemetery. I think it's similar, like, if I'm not mistaken, New Orleans. Being that some parts of Aruba, the ground is very hard to drill into, so that's why we bury all loved ones above ground. So there you guys can see a local police station coming up to the right. You can see one of Aruba's most famous party buses, the big red bus in front called the Kunuku Party Bus here on the island. So these are Aruba's most famous party buses. So old school buses become party buses here on the island of Aruba. most expensive home here on the island. A typical home would begin at roughly $100,000 US for a 2 or 3 bedroom home complex, or you could get a fixer-upper starting in the price range of $20,000 US.
Wow.
This is the Gold Coast Villas to the left. You could rent or buy your own villa in that complex. Then to the right hand side, this is the 18-hole golf course. So if you want to play some golf, this is the 18-hole golf course called the Tierra del Sol that you're seeing to the right now. Some of those homes you could rent them out also as an Airbnb. Some of them can accommodate up to 10 to 12 people all at once, maximum 15. Here you guys can see the main entrance for the Tierra del Sol right now to the right. So this is the main entrance, and you get to go inside, see all of the homes, and come back out. So once you guys rent it, this is where you're gonna come stay. You have the beach, which is straight down at the end of the road. So literally a 5-minute drive, and you're at the beach. This big white home here, this is an Airbnb that you can rent out. Then followed by the big yellow one, also Airbnb that you can rent out. And you can see the beach straight down in front. Then you have another one right over here with the trees that is poking out, Banana's apartment. They're less than 10 minutes away from the hotels. You guys can see the hotels right now to the left. You're gonna see a big yellow building. That's the Ritz-Carlton Hotel here on the island. So they're less than 10 minutes away from all of the different shops and restaurants that has right in front of the hotels. And the beach is literally right down at the end of the street over here coming up. On this side is more, how you say, more peaceful, yet it's user friendly. It's not compared to the north side of the island. That's why you see they have a lot of categorying, snorkeling and scuba diving at this side, because in certain parts of the water it's waist high deep, so you could walk waist high deep for the entire coastline, and
wow,
you could see a lot of fishes, turtles swim around you. Doing the exploration work here on the island. So Aruba's just provided a place for them to do any maintenance, any service. That's why it's stationed here. It's just like providing a job for the island of Aruba. Some of them are beachfront homes currently. You guys can see part of the golf course right now. And it extends and goes behind the lighthouse that you guys are seeing right now. So you could do your snorkeling and scuba diving at this side also, and it's waist high deep also in some parts of the water. So there you guys can see the California lighthouse. This side is called California. It's named after a steamship that was sailing close to the island of Aruba back in the year 1891. The ship could automatically, and every morning at 6 a.m. the light goes off automatically. So no more lighthouse keeper. The lighthouse keeper's home, they converted into an Italian restaurant, which is one of the most romantic Italian restaurants on the entire island. Main reason why, you have a good view of the sunset in the evening. It doesn't have nothing to disturb the view of the sunset. So this part is called California, after the steamship that was sailing here on the island of Aruba. And also, this is the farthest point west of the island of Aruba. The light from the California lighthouse, you can see it from roughly 50 nautical miles out away from the island of Aruba. If you guys want to climb to the top of the lighthouse, they're gonna charge you $5. That's to help maintain the lighthouse. So it's a $5 to climb to the top of the lighthouse. In total, 117 steps all the way to the top. It goes up in a spiral though. So it's a 3 to 4 minute climb to get to the top of the California lighthouse. Once you get to the top, you get a good view of the entire island. We're gonna be staying here for 20 minutes and then we're gonna be heading off. If you need to use the restroom, you just go inside into the restroom. Into the Italian restaurant. I'm not sure if they're gonna charge you. If they do charge you, just have like $1 or $2 on you in case they do charge you to use the restroom. So you'll be staying here for